This morning I'm gonna meet up with Martin. He has a 59 Bel Air also. He's from Ontario, Canada, so I'll give you a cold start. Another cold morning here. Once to the floor. Alright, let's get going. I'm supposed to meet him in 6 minutes. So take a look at this, what's behind me there. Got another 59 Chevy. Martin, he's drove over from Ontario, Canada. We're gonna go to a little local park and get some video for you guys. You see this? Two 59 Chevys parked next to one another.
Did you see the guy doing the driveway?
Yeah.
He saw yours, and then when he saw mine, he said, "Two of them." Hands up, puts his hand up. "Two of them."
Yeah, that's a rarity. I have a couple friends that had a couple four-doors. One of them was a coral and cream one.
Yeah.
And the other one was a white one. And we'd go out cruising together and people would be like, 3 of them. I haven't seen either one of them in years. I think the one passed away, and yeah. I don't know, I think the other guy sold the car. But yeah, I got to get a walk around of both we got room here in my driveway. I don't have room, so hope they don't mind me walking through their garden too much. Yeah, this is beautiful. So this is what I need to do to mine, get my trim looking like this. Wow, look at the grill. Has all that been re-anodized or chromed?
You know what, Howard? This is how it looked when I bought it.
Wow.
I think, what? I'm assuming that obviously somebody garaged this or barned it somewhere, right? And somebody took it over and really started to do it, the outside. And I don't know, didn't have enough money or what, and didn't really finish the inside, although the inside wasn't in bad shape to begin with. It was in very good shape.
Yeah, it is in good shape.
And I ended up, having it, like buying it and not having to do anything to get the work done.
Yeah, I like how you did the door panels. That looks really good. I should have done mine because mine were rotting down here.
Yeah.
That was common.
Well, yeah. It's just like,
it looks really good.
Cardboard, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see why I put those.
Yeah,
for my viewers.
Your emblem.
Yeah, that's why I put those emblems on my door panels.
Yep. Yeah. You know what? When I saw the car, the inside, and you had the emblems, I said, he's trying to imitate the original ones.
Totally. Oh, you got the deluxe heater. You got AC in here.
Well, that's the
vintage era.
That's the vintage era. Yeah. Yeah. I got tilt steering too.
Oh, okay. So you've changed out the column. You did a nice job. Yeah. Yeah. Did a nice job with the levers and everything.
Yeah. He said that we'd be able to match the levers.
The seat upholstery is correct. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. And this gold right here, bronze, was a silver on my seats because of the different fabric color, being a gray interior.
Yeah.
So depending on the color interior was kind of what they used for that. And today you would never find that in the stitching, this metallic thread. Never in today's cars.
Oh, no.
And yeah, that's why my seats, exactly the way my interior was originally. Yeah, the guy did a nice job on it, no doubt about it.
Yeah. There is some flaws in it.
Yeah, but I mean,
but they're very minimal.
Look at the age of the vehicle.
Yeah.
You can't expect perfection on an old car. New cars have imperfections. You can go to the dealer and look at a brand new vehicle. Yeah, the spare tire hole's all good and solid.
Yeah, and you know what? That wasn't replaced. That's the original one from the car.
This thing's solid. Original trunk pan. Oh no, you replaced the trunk pan, you said.
Yeah, the trunk pans have been replaced.
Diff. Yeah, everything's really nice on this car. Those spare tire holes in the front fenders were the first spots they rotted out, so when you see them good, you know the car was generally in good shape. It's like I say, this one when I bought it was rotted out here.
Just on this side? Or on
both sides, right here, because the dirt would pack up in there. No inner fender.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. And then it was rotted out here in the spare tire hole. That was the only rust on the whole car when I got it. It was probably about like there and right here.
And you patched all that.
Yeah, I welded in new metal.
But this wasn't when you got it. This was years later.
No,
right?
this was.
And you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a 17-year-old kid. Brazed it in because back in that era, little MIG welders were expensive and I couldn't afford one, and I had oxyacetylene, so I brazed the sheet metal in. And
well, you took auto in school, right?
Yeah.
And did you learn?
I learned how to braze when I was in junior high school. I had a shop class in junior high that was like a metalworking class.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned to work with metal and braze, because you could take a piece of heavy steel and you could bend it with heat.
Right.
And so I learned a lot with that auto shop class. But yeah, that's nice. That's what I want mine to look like on the front. That looks really good.
Do you want to show it?
Yeah, absolutely. Open up the hood.
Okay.
I gotta open up the hood. It's a must. Yeah, seeing all this is missing on mine.
Is it?
And then there was a pad that they put between the two pieces of sheet metal.
Yeah.
And that's, here, I'll show you. It's missing. There's supposed to be a pad between here.
Yeah.
And it makes it kind of tinny. So when you shut it, you can hear it. And then when you're going down the road, sometimes you can see the hood flexing a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Because that pad in between the two sheet metals is missing.
Okay.
And
did the car have that when you bought it?
No, because when it was new, it was wrecked in this front corner.
Right.
And they replaced this part of the bumper, the hood, this fender, and they straightened. You can see where the inner fender's been straightened right in here.
Okay.
But that was when it, it was still a new car, so it was repaired. But yeah, that's,
you know what? It's good to. You have no idea. It's great to see this in person, because I'm usually looking at my phone when I see your car.
Dual brakes. Does it have disc?
No.
You got a power steering gear, so you get better handling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get way better handling with that. Yeah, I still have the original setup, and the only way you could put the original setup on was still keeping a generator, because the power steering pump.
Yes. Yeah, it's attached. Yeah. And you know what? When I had the car, it was rewired, right? And when I had the work done, the engine was out, the trans was out, right? And he was doing the wiring. He says, what do you think about putting an alternator in? He says, I'll fix it, so that it works. And I went, I don't know. I had just got the car, and and I was really, I gotta keep it the same. I want it to look.
You got aftermarket or that AC, you need an alternator.
Yeah.
Because
well, and you know what? He talked me into that, because really, you know how many times that was back in 2006 when I had the car done, and the air put in. Do you know how many times I've used the air conditioner?
Twice, 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah. That's why I didn't put that. That's why I didn't fix that dealer installed air on the Galaxy. I knew I would never use it.
Because I'd rather have the windows open, the vents open.
Yeah, it's fun to have the vents open, the windows down.
But he said, the guy said at the time, he says, Martin, he says the car's a part, and it's not going to cost you as much. And I went, all right, go ahead. And I thought, well, the wife might be able to want to come a little bit more if I had air. And we had a car show in August in Bothwell, and that's about about 80 miles north of Windsor. And on the way back, it was so damn hot that day. I said, we're putting the air on. I've got it. I'm not going to drive all an hour and a half and swelter, right? So we put it on, and it was great. But normally, no, I don't put it on.
Yeah, in 60 they want the steering pump here, and the alternator came in 63, and that is period correct for 63.
Is it?
Yeah, it has the, no, I take that back. This is a Delcatron. The other ones had the connectors in the back. The connectors were back here on the 63s. So that is a modern Delcatron. But at least, you know, with running AC, the generators have a hard time with that magnetic clutch. They draw a lot of current to engage the clutch.
Yeah.
And the brushes carry the load on a generator. So you go through brushes.
Oh.
And an alternator, the brushes carry the field of very low current, and the windings that carry the load are on the housing. To where that, the armature is what carries the load, and the housing is where the field windings are. This creates alternating current and has a diode bridge in there to convert it to direct current. And they require a little bit to keep them working, so they bring the battery up to about 1275 in specific gravity. The generator will bring the battery right up to the full 1300 specific gravity. So your battery will last longer with the generator. But like I say, the brushes carry all the load, so that, and they're heavy. The generators weigh a ton compared to the alternator. It was an improvement. No ands, its, or buts about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
You know, when he was saying it, I was a little leery, and I thought, well, you know what? I got to trust this guy. You know, they're a restoration place. You know. The
thing is what you've done. If somebody wanted to put the car back to factory original, it's not that big of a deal to do.
And you know what? I have the parts.
Yeah, you got to keep them.
I kept it. Although the car came with it was a 2-barrel. And we put a 4-barrel. And I was saying, you know, I want to have a little bit of power with this car. So they ended up putting a 4-barrel. And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to do mufflers. It's only got a single on it.
Has it got the spread bore 4-barrel on it, the quadrajet?
You know what? I don't know. Do you want to take the breather off?
If you want,
sure.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Why not? Take a look.
Just looking at it, it kind of looks like a spread bore to me. That's why I was kind of wondering. Yeah, it is. It's a spread bore. Yep. You can see I'll pop the air cleaner off mine. You can see the difference. And my tubers will be able to see the difference too. See how it's all 4 barrels, all 4 Venturis are the same size.
Okay.
And yours, the secondaries are larger, and your primaries, these being the secondaries, these only work when you're into the throttle.
Okay.
These are the ones that run the car all the time.
Okay.
It's your idle circuit and your choke. This is only when you're really into the gas. And yours is the same way, but this side of your carburetor will be smaller, and this side will be bigger. So if you stay out of these, you'll get better fuel economy than what I'll get with this. But
you need that for this size engine, don't you?
Well, this car you could put that spread bore on it. It's probably a little bit more CFM, but I just like running the stock stuff. That's just the way I am. But it would probably get a little better mileage with the quadrajet, because, you know, that's what they were able to put the smaller primaries, so unless you're really into it, you're not using, you know, if you lift that, can you lift it out of there carefully? Yeah, now, so this being your primary circuit, what runs the car all the time, then these are your secondary, much larger.
Okay.
So, yeah, I had a friend that put a quadrajet on a 67 with a 283.
Yeah.
I told him I thought that would be too much carburetor for it, but it seemed to run okay.
Yeah.
Because I think these things have pretty small valves in them.
Let's see if I can get this
unless somebody's, it looks like the correct heads.
Okay, what am I doing wrong here?
Maybe you don't have it over the, oh, there's a hole in the air cleaner that's got to go over the, that.
Okay, all right.
The vent for the float. Yeah, it's nice.
I did tell you that this car comes from Phoenix, right?
Arizona car?
Yeah, it's an Arizona car.
That's why it's solid.
And it was at a dealership in Alabama that I bought it from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I used the same carrier to go get it that you did for
Reliable transport?
Yes, for reliable. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that bought the Galaxy set all the pickup up. He was thinking of flying out and driving it home.
Yeah.
And I told him, yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to drive it home. I said you could go up through the Upper Peninsula and take US 2. It would be a beautiful drive across the country.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have this health issue, I would have driven it there and flown back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, as you can see, there was one thing that I did. I put the bars in the
taillights.
In the taillights. I think I told you about that before. That I put the bars in. And my original car that I wanted was an Impala. Right. But the cost was prohibitive.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I want the car. So I'm gonna, buy a four-door, buy a Bel Air, right? The only thing I did different was, like I said, I put the bars in the lights to give me that Impala feel.
It'll make it easier to clean them, because getting in here it's hard to get in there to clean between those ribs.
Yeah, I'm sure it. Oh yeah,
I don't know if it shows up in the video or not, but yeah, it's. And those just go cover those up. It's the same lens. A lot of people, viewers, might not know, but
it's just the bars.
Yeah.
On top. Yeah. Because obviously, when I got the car, it looked just like this, right? So. And of course, the antennas were already on. When I bought it.
I like the rear antennas.
You know what? They're great. The only thing is, I have one up front, but you can see I've got it pushed all the way down.
Yeah.
Kind of looks silly when you're driving around. You have 3 antennas. Eh? And of course, I have the 61 caps on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I purchased it, it had the spinners in the front, the 61 spinners in the front, and the 61s of these in the back. And I had the, what are they called? The covers. You know the covers?
The skirts?
The skirts, thank you. It had the skirts on it, so you really couldn't see the wheels. So I finally said, you know what, I'm going to take those skirts off. I want to see the tires.
Yeah, so, I don't mind skirts on certain cars, but it has to be just the right car. Like some guys like, oh, I got a pair of skirts for that Galaxy. I said, Galaxy would look silly with skirts on it.
You know what? They used to bump out.
Yeah.
They bump out, right? It's like, you'd look down the side and say, you know what, that doesn't look right.
I like the customs when they put those, the big skirts that go all the way back.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do like those for some reason.
Eh?
Yeah, I'm not mad about Continental kits, especially on the Chev, because it puts the bumper out here.
Yes.
And it's hard to access the trunk, and it's hard to put gas in the car.
Yeah, and because you have to pull the lever, you got to pull it out of the way to get to the gas tank. Yeah. Because at first, it was like, well, I want to do everything I possibly can, right? I wanted a Continental kit. I wanted to put the front bumper on and
the grill guard.
The grill guard, and slowly,
I like the grill guards. That would look good on there.
Yours doesn't have that.
No,
right? No.
No, I like the 59s with the grill guard. I'm just not mad about the Continental kit or the skirts, unless it's like an Impala convertible. It's they look okay with the skirts, but the sedans and stuff, I'm just not mad about them, or the hard tops. I do like them on the convertibles.
And there's one thing on the car that you don't like, and you just mentioned it in your last video. Did you see what it is?
Well, what's...
Take a look in the front.
Front grille?
No.
Oh, the wiper. Yeah, these.
The wiper blades. Yeah, that's how I got it. It came that way, right?
Yeah, that 67 Ford had them. They're like rubber. These are the original ones.
And you just changed this.
The refill, yeah, which is probably 40 or 50 years old. I should probably replace them. So if I have to turn the wipers, well, they're still pliable.
When was the last time you had the wipers on?
Oh God, I can't remember. Probably when I drove it back from Savannah, Georgia, because I went through some torrential downpours, and yeah, I was even using them on the high speed. It was raining so hard.
Oh boy, you have dual speed on you?
Yeah, it's a 2-speed wiper.
Oh, I've only got one.
And washer. The washer.
Oh, you've got the washer. Yeah, I don't.
The washer pump doesn't work right now. There's a relay in there. I think the contacts are dirty, and I need to take that wiper motor off and take it apart and clean them. The wiper motor is a little bit of work to get out. You might do it this winter. You got to pull a cowl off. Fasteners are in behind there, and I could probably get it out without removing the booster, but the booster's no big deal to take out. I could just loosen it up and move it forward if I had to.
And this is the one you just did, right?
Yeah, that's the one I just rebuilt. And I put a new master cylinder on it too, because I couldn't remember the last time I changed it and being a single reservoir system.
Yeah.
All the lines, everything looked like that on the whole car, so all the lines are good. Probably next time I do the brakes, I'll put hoses and wheel cylinders on it, but because like I say, it's probably been, I just don't remember, it's probably been 30-35 years since I've, I mean, when I go out cruising, I'm not using the brakes a lot, I'm just driving along, and I try and time the lights to make them green.
When you're on Woodward, how are the lights timed?
If you do the speed limit, you can make them all green.
Okay.
The key is do the speed limit. A lot of times you can't because of traffic.
Right.
But if you do the speed limit, I've done the whole complete lap without having to stop at one light.
Is that right? You don't get anything like that in Canada. Well, at least Windsor.
Yeah.
You're always getting caught at the lights.
Yeah, so. And my battery topper. My dad got that for me for Christmas. It's just a Napa battery under it. A friend of mine bought a reproduction one of these.
Yeah.
And it lasted like 3 years. And it's like, he spent a lot of money on the battery too.
Yeah.
And I was gonna buy one for this car, and then my dad's was like, this was years back, maybe 20 years ago. My dad's like, they make a topper to go over the battery to make it look original. And he bought me one for Christmas.
Oh, that was nice.
So I don't have to worry about buying an old reproduction that doesn't last.
Right. What did they melt, or?
They just go dead all of a sudden. They just don't hold a charge anymore. That's what his problem was.
Oh, that's a whole battery. That's not just a cover over the battery.
This is just the cover. He had bought the whole battery.
Oh, he bought the whole battery.
I think Deca batteries are good batteries, but they reproduced this battery for these cars, so it would have been, you could take caps off and look in and see the water level, and obviously these ones don't come off. It's just a molded.
Yeah, it's just for looks.
Right.
I had to change the battery in the car, and I thought maybe I should do something like that, and I went, well. I never did buy one.
And I bought one for the Galaxy too.
Did you?
Yeah, the correct one, auto light. I couldn't put a Delco battery in so they actually made it for the Ford also. So I thought, I'll get one too.
Sure.
And I put one in the Catalina also.
I want to show you a picture.
And that's your first car.
That's my first car.
What year is that?
68.
No, I mean the photo.
Oh, that's probably 78.
Okay.
1978.
So you bought your first car the same time I bought my first car.
That's right.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah. I only had it for a year though. I ended up selling it and buying a smaller car because the car took so much in gas.
Yeah, well, I bought a Vega to replace this, a 75 GT Camback station wagon, and that's why I kept this.
what was it? 1974 Astor. Pontiac Astor.
Same thing.
Same car.
Yeah.
Almost, eh?
Yeah.
Except it was a GT.
Yeah, I had the GT also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I had the
Yeah.
tack and all the full gauges. And,
Yeah, but I ended up trading the car in. I didn't have the resources to keep cars like that.
Yeah, I think that Vega, I forgot how many engines and transmissions.
Now that's not the one is that the one that's in your videos? That's in the driveway?
No, I don't think. Yeah, it might have, the green one.
It was a station wagon.
Yeah, my brother bought it. He bought an orange one, and he had it for 28 days, and it was rear-ended by a Blazer and totaled. And then he bought the green one once the insurance paid off on the orange one. You know, this was back in the day when those were still new cars.
Right,
and,
right.
Or newer cars, I should say. And then he worked at a Chrysler dealer, and he bought a Plymouth Valiant to replace the Vega.
Oh, okay.
And I bought the Vega from him.
Okay.
And when I bought it, it had a rebuilt engine and transmission, which I ended up rebuilding the engine again 2 more times. They're just not a good, and it was steel sleeved and everything.
Oh, it wasn't aluminum?
No, it was an aluminum block, but it had been sleeved, steel sleeved.
Oh, okay.
My brother had it steel sleeved. And so, yeah, that car, you know, I just didn't enjoy driving it, and it was always something wrong with it, and kind of a rattle trap, with no power, and
yeah, for sure.
And so I could always get in this, turn the key, and it would go. So I just kept it, and here it is, 44 years.
You know, that is amazing. You know, that you've kept it all these years. You know, because what is that? That's
44 years. 44? Yeah, almost 45 years. Yeah, 78, March 12th, 78. Yeah, I think you're definitely Gothic Gold Poly. I mean, I don't know if that shows up in the video, but I don't think you could ask for a better match.
But you know, you see a lot of the Gothic Gold Chevs that year, and there's more gold in it. It's not, it doesn't seem like it's the same.
Yeah, but
color.
look at that.
But that is, you know what? The guy probably used that swatch to get the paint, and they match the swatch perfect, right?
I mean, I don't, you know, this is Ditzler. You know, it's part of PPG, so that's what I think GM used, PPG.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could ask for a better paint match, really. That's like perfect.
And yours is the snow sauce, right?
Yeah.
The white.
They don't put a black paint chip on here.
Because black is black, they figure, or?
It's a little bit lighter, the top, but the body is spot on.
See, it's more the satin beige.
Yeah, it's a little, this looks a little, the satin beige looks a little creamier.
Yeah.
But, I mean, unless you're holding the paint chip up, you're not going to know the difference.
For sure.
But that body color is spot on. That is absolutely spot on. Like that old Power Glide wine too. Let me put the seatbelt in.
Did you get any floods this summer?
No,
You didn't, eh?
well, it flooded once, but it was no big deal. The street, usually the drains get plugged up, and then when it rains hard, they kind of flood. But this year,
Yeah, you showed us once.
I like
you were
the
out video, doing your video, and
Waiting for
the
a car to die.
the water was coming up your front lawn.
Yeah.
Just tell me which way you want me to go.
Just go straight ahead, and we'll do it right at the next, just about where that car's turning there, and we'll go down that street.
Okay.
So we won't go very far. It'll be kind of like around the block.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this looks familiar. You've done this before.
Yeah. '59 Bel Air 4-door sedan. How often does this happen? Get to go for a ride in another one on the same day I had mine out. That's a container house. They're made out of shipping containers.
Oh yeah.
When you get up to the stop sign, we'll do another right. Some of the neighbors will see this going by and they'll say, "What'd you do? Repaint his car?" About where that garbage truck is, we can do another right. Or we can go all the way to Woodward and do a right. That light up there is Woodward.
Okay, we'll go up to Woodward. I haven't ridden in a one with a power glide in a long time. My 60 had a turbo glide, so it didn't shift. Oh yeah.
And for my viewers that aren't familiar with the power glide, they're 2-speed automatic, low and drive. They're out cruising Woodward. Sure is a nice day for it.
It is.
There we go. Bel Air 4-door. Maybe the traffic in the right lane will get going faster and we'll get a little video of it going by. Alright, there he goes back home. A nice cruise with Martin with his '59 Bel Air. I've seen his Bel Air in other videos. He was on the news. He was here in the Dream Cruise, and I saw it on the news one day, and I thought, wow, that's a really nice looking Bel Air 4-door. I really would like to see it. So it was a pleasure to see it. I thoroughly enjoyed your visit here, Martin, and seeing your Bel Air and going for a ride in it. And we got the black and white one sitting here in the back in the garage. So if you like the video, you know, definitely hit the like button. That definitely helps out in getting more views and make a little bit more money that I can put towards another car, because I spent most of my money on buying a house to rent out. So yeah, I can use the income now. So go ahead and hit that like button. It helps. And that 348 engine that pops up there, that will subscribe you. And thank you for watching my video.